Hey guys, it is Thursday. Going online on Uber. About 8:40. Yeah, kind of hung out for a little bit, but not too crazy long. Got a request to do a shop and pay at the Metro at College Park. So yeah, just going in, grabbing some things. They didn't want too much crazy stuff. Kind of felt bad that they only had green bananas. But that's how it is sometimes. You're just getting green bananas, person. And yeah, this building, they used to have to give you a fob to use the elevator. And then they would ask for your keys, so you would return the fob. But now they don't do that, so that's nice. I remember in the pandemic, there was times when there was like so many people doing deliveries that they didn't have enough fobs. You had to just wait. But anyways, hung out for a bit, played some Balatro. I got another request from it was called DJM, and it was from this apartment building. Kind of weird, they didn't have like a business sign, and the contents, when I checked on the app, it just said one package. So it seemed a little bit shady to me. I was like, is this drugs? And I was talking to Adam later in the day, and apparently you can hire Uber guys just for a courier service. They just deliver whatever. So if you were selling drugs, I guess you could do it through Uber technically, just not say what it is. So a little bit weird, but yeah. I also delivered some coffee there. And yeah, it's about 10:30ish, getting closer to 11. I made $19. The app is being weird again. I don't know why it says 34 today instead of yesterday. But I'm going to the High Park burn. And yeah, passing by Ontario Place, the deconstruction zone, where they're just fucking shit up over here. Yeah, the West Island is looking completely barren. I guess they're moving the last of some of the rubble. Yeah, it's a big shame. And if you haven't been seeing in the news, the Therma group that the Ontario government is dealing with, turns out they misrepresented themselves as being the Therma group that's from Germany and has a bunch of successful spas. This one doesn't even have one successful spa. It seems like they have one shitty one. So again, we're just getting scammed. We kind of knew that from the beginning, that we were getting scammed, and now it's just even more of a scam. I don't know, guys. Hopefully somebody does something. I don't know. Anyways, just going into Hyde Park now. And it seems like the park is supposed to be closed to cars, at least regular cars, but definitely seem like some just regular people sneaking their way in here. Maybe they're volunteers, I don't know. But meeting up with Matt, we're gonna watch the prescribed burn. We're here kind of just right on time. About 11:30 is when they actually started lighting the park on fire. So yeah, made our way over to look at some of these flames. Yeah, we kind of wanted to get closer and sit on that bench. That'd be a good, this is fine kind of picture where everything around us is burning. But I don't know, we didn't want these people to yell at us if we got too close. But it was nice. The wind is at our backs, so we didn't get too much smoke blown into us. And it seemed like the fire was spreading pretty quick. We've got lots of smoke. It's changing the shadows on the ground, which is a pretty cool effect. So I'm going to read a bit from a pamphlet I got from a volunteer. It says, Toronto is home to rare prairie, black oak, savanna, and woodland ecosystems, like in High Park here. Less than 3% of these prairie, savanna, woodland ecosystems remain within Ontario since a pre-European settlement. And these ecosystems are dependent on periodic fire to maintain their open character and rich varieties of plant species. So this vegetation management technique, where the fire is set and allowed to burn under controlled conditions, it stimulates germination and growth of prairie, black oak savanna, and woodland species. It aids these plant communities by setting back competing plants and improving overall growth conditions for growth of native plants. The restoration of prairie, black oak, savanna, and woodland plant communities promote greater diversity of native plants, birds, and other wildlife in southern Ontario. So that's why they do the burns. And indigenous people have apparently been doing this since before colonization, and that the practice of setting these controlled fires pretty much stopped until around 2012, I think, is when they actually started to do the controlled burns, and it seems like it's been working out. So anyways, we walked over to where the third burn spot is, and we were hoping it was the second one, but we guessed wrong. And yeah, took a little before shot of the area, and it seemed like it was going to be an hour and a bit until they came over there, so we decided we'd just wander over to the second burn spot. I took some video of some moss along the way. This is like along the dog walking trail, but from this direction we weren't allowed to get any closer. The trail was closed and someone was guarding it. So instead of walking around and seeing the mid-burn part, we decided we'd just go get lunch. So we walked up to Bloor and Keel. We were like, there's a Subway over here, but we did decide to visit a local place, Lunchbox, which is nicer than supporting an American company. I'm not perfect about the American products boycott, but it's nice to do it when you can. If there wasn't a Lunchbox there, I don't know, probably would have gone to Subway. But anyways, we are going back into the park. We got here at pretty much the perfect time, as it seems like they've started burning up the north side of this section that they're gonna burn. And we've got the indigenous people doing some singing and drum stuff going on. That's cool. They're usually a part of the burn. So, yeah. Looking nice. We kind of walked around the group a little bit and then saw a path to go back since they're moving south again. And yeah, they were really putting down the fire here. Covering a lot of ground, kinda. And this is the wind is blowing towards us, so the fire wasn't really spreading into the burn area, which I think is on purpose. It kind of seemed like this is going to be the fire break, so the fire won't spread more. I mean, they do have this nice concrete path that separates most of it, but maybe it's just a best practice kind of thing. So eventually we do make our way down to the southern edge of the burn area. Yeah, there's still some photographers who are just hanging out in the smoke. I mean, if that was your plan, you should have brought a face mask or something. But I mostly stayed out of it. And as you can see, we hung out for a bit and that fire mostly burned out. And then we went over to the west side of the burning area. It was a pretty tall, thin slice of the park that they're burning here. And now they're setting the fire, so the wind will blow this fire into the burning area. And that fire spread pretty fast. Just looking at it all here, yeah, you got some big flames going. And of course, gotta take that things are on fire selfie. Some of the logs really get going. That is part of the High Park burn. Is it's nice for nature, but also it's cool to see a fire sometimes. in a way that's not like destroying someone's home and potentially killing anyone. I do kind of wonder, like, what are the chipmunks thinking that are in there? They're probably like, oh shit. Gotta get the hell out of there. Hopefully they're fine. But anyways, things seem to be calming down. Went back and got my bike and parted ways with Matt. I am gonna go back over to that burn area now that things should be mostly over. Show you guys my before and after shots of the burn. Kinda hung out for a bit while people were milling about. But yeah, it's pretty much all the leaves are gone, and I don't know, that's what it looks like, guys. Things get burnt up in here. Yeah, I'll probably come back in the spring and maybe I'll remember to take another shot there of the new growth that comes back in. So yeah, it's probably around 3-ish. I was gonna head home and just chill out for the rest of the day, but I got a message from Adam being like, hey, you want to come over, watch Tyler beat Super Mario Land? And I was like, yeah, sure, instead of going home, I'll just like go chill with them. And yeah, Don and Tyler have been doing a pottery class, so today he came over early to game a little bit and eat some pizza. Tyler had this Game Boy game growing up, and he's like, yeah, this game could beat it in less than an hour. And we timed him, and it took 45 minutes, maybe 44. I wasn't like super keeping track, but it was quick. Says he could do it faster if he wasn't collecting every coin and like that kind of stuff. He wasn't really speed running, he was just playing the game. I thought that was cool. And yeah, I played some other games too. Looked at Don's, she's sprouting some tomato plants and other things. Nice. Yeah, that's what called like curry and kura. I have no idea. It was cool. So yeah, I think it's pizza time. Hell yeah, pizza time. Some more north of Brooklyn pizza. Very tasty. Tyler and Don left, so Adam and I just hanging out, playing with Bento. He was seemed really happy today. Maybe it's since it's the nice weather, but he was just really running around, playful kind of mood. Just nice. That's right, Bento. Winter is pretty much over. We might have one last cold snap, but I think this is pretty much it. It's gonna be nice weather from here on out. Other than the rain, I guess, but what can you do about that? So yeah, some good running around and hanging out. Played some more Prince at Adam and Don's. And I went home, honestly kind of later than I was expecting. I was like, damn, I've been away from home for a while. But yeah, on my way home I also found this stool. I think it's like a bath shower stool kind of thing, but I just thought it'd be nice to have somewhere to sit in the backyard, so I grabbed it since it wasn't too far from my house. Yeah, that's Thursday. Later, guys.